The tension in the city feels heavier than ever, as every player moves like they already know war is coming. Tommy is no longer just reacting to threats, he is preparing for impact. The streets whisper his name with both fear and respect, but that respect is fading fast. Enemies are watching his every move, waiting for the smallest mistake. He knows that staying still is more dangerous than striking first, yet every decision now carries a deadly cost. The pressure is not just from outside forces, it comes from the people he once trusted. Allies are nervous, loyalty is thin, and everyone is questioning who truly sits at the top. Tommy's mind is pulled in different directions. He wants control. But control demands sacrifice. He wants peace, but peace no longer exists in his world. The city feels like it is closing in on him, block by block. Even moments of silence feel loud, filled with thoughts of betrayal and revenge. Every move he makes sends shockwaves through the streets, and the weight of leadership is starting to show. This is not the Tommy who walked into Chicago with confidence. This is a man forced to adapt or be erased. Meanwhile, the streets are buzzing with rumors. People sense that something big is coming. Old alliances feel shaky, and new ones are forming. In the shadows, no one feels safe anymore. Every conversation carries hidden meaning. Every look could be a warning. The calm before the storm is heavy, and everyone knows that once the first shot is fired, there will be no turning back. As tensions rise, the cracks between brothers grow wider. The bond that once held everything together now feels fragile and strained. Years of unresolved anger, jealousy, and pride finally rise to the surface. What once felt like loyalty now feels like competition. Power has changed the way they look at each other, turning trust into suspicion. Every move is questioned. Every silence feels loud. The streets can sense the divide. People are choosing sides without saying a word. The energy shifts when they walk into a room together. Respect turns into fear, and fear turns into chaos. Old wounds reopen, and the past refuses to stay buried. The deeper they go, the harder it becomes to remember why they stood together in the first place. This is not just about territory anymore. It is personal. The anger comes from years of feeling overlooked, controlled, or betrayed. Each brother believes he deserves more, and neither is willing to step back. Pride becomes the real enemy. Every conversation feels like a challenge. Every stare feels like a threat. And when pride takes over, reason disappears. The city watches as the tension builds, waiting for the moment when words turn into violence. Everyone knows it is coming. The only question is who will strike first and who will pay the price when. The line is finally crossed. While the streets heat up, unseen forces begin to move quietly in the background. Not everyone shows their hand right away. Some players prefer to wait, watch, and strike when the moment is perfect. Deals are made in silence. Promises are whispered behind closed doors. Loyalty becomes a currency, and everyone has a price. The danger no longer comes from one direction. It surrounds them. Law enforcement tightens its grip, watching every move, waiting for one mistake to bring everything crashing down. At the same time, rival groups see opportunity in the chaos. They sense weakness and prepare to step in when the time is right. The pressure builds from all sides, leaving no safe space to breathe. trust becomes rare. Even those who once stood side by side now question each other's motives. A single wrong word could expose secrets meant to stay buried. Every alliance feels temporary, every promise uncertain. The streets no longer reward loyalty. They reward survival. As the tension grows, characters are forced to make impossible choices. Do they protect themselves, or protect the people they care about? Do they hold on to their morals, or abandon them to stay alive? The line between right and wrong fades, replaced by desperation and fear. Episode 9 reaches a breaking point where everything changes. One moment shifts the entire direction of the story, leaving no room to turn back. Decisions made here will echo far beyond this episode, shaping the future of everyone involved. The consequences are heavy, and the cost is real. This is the moment. When masks fall away, true intentions are revealed. Some characters rise to power, while others fall hard. Trust is shattered, alliances are destroyed, and the streets claim their price. What once felt like a game of strategy becomes a fight for survival. The ending does not offer comfort or closure. Instead, it leaves a deep sense of uncertainty. The city stands on the edge of chaos, and nothing will ever be the same again. Episode 9 doesn't just move the story forward, it changes it completely. What comes next will be darker, more dangerous, and impossible to escape. And as the screen fades, one truth becomes clear. In this world, no one walks away clean. And every choice leaves a scar. The tension between brothers reaches a level that can no longer be hidden. What once felt like loyalty now feels like obligation, and obligation quickly turns into resentment. Every look carries meaning. Every pause feels heavy. The bond that once made them unstoppable now feels like the very thing tearing everything apart. Old memories resurface, reminding them of how far they've come and how much they've lost along the way. The past no longer feels like history. It feels like a warning they ignored for too long. Power has changed everything. What started as a shared dream slowly turned into a silent competition. Each man believes he carried the weight while the other reaped the reward. That bitterness has been building for years, buried beneath respect and family ties. Now, it has finally reached the surface. The words they choose are sharp, and even silence feels aggressive. Every conversation feels like a test of dominance, and neither is willing to step back. The city feels the shift immediately. People who once moved freely now watch their backs. Whispers spread through the streets, telling stories of a coming storm. Everyone knows that when brothers turn against each other, the damage reaches far beyond them. Alliances begin to shift quietly. People start choosing sides without saying it out loud. Loyalty becomes a dangerous thing to offer, and neutrality becomes impossible. Behind closed doors, the anger grows louder. Old arguments resurface, but now they carry heavier consequences. Pride blocks any chance of peace. Each man believes he is right, and that belief pushes them further apart. The trust that once held them together has cracked beyond repair. Every memory of unity now feels like a reminder of betrayal. As pressure builds, mistakes start to happen. Small decisions lead to big consequences. One wrong move sparks reactions that cannot be undone. The streets feel tighter, louder, and more dangerous. Tension sits in the air like smoke, making it hard to breathe. People sense that something violent is coming. Even if no one wants to say it out loud, the deeper the conflict goes, the clearer it becomes that there is no turning back. Pride, anger, and ambition have created a path with no exit. What was once a brotherhood built on survival has turned into a battle for control. And as the lines are finally drawn, one truth becomes impossible to ignore: only one side can walk away standing, and the cost of winning may be everything they have left. The streets begin to move in silence, not with noise, but with intention. Every corner feels watched, every shadow feels alive. Power no longer belongs to the loudest voice, but to the one who knows when to stay quiet. In this phase of the story, danger doesn't announce itself, it creeps in slowly, hiding behind familiar faces and false loyalty. People who once stood in the open now move carefully, measuring every step as if the ground itself could give way beneath them. Trust becomes the rarest currency. Conversations are shorter, colder, and filled with unspoken meaning. Everyone is listening more than they speak. Every handshake feels temporary. Every promise feels borrowed. The streets have learned that survival depends on silence, and those who talk too much don't last long. Old alliances begin to crack, not because of hatred, but because fear changes people. When survival becomes the goal, loyalty becomes optional. Behind the scenes, quiet deals begin to shape the future. People who once had no power suddenly gain influence, not because they are strong, but because they are useful. Information becomes more valuable than money. One secret can destroy years of work, and everyone is hunting for leverage. Nothing is accidental anymore. Every meeting, every move, has a purpose hidden beneath the surface. As pressure builds, characters begin to show who they really are. Some reveal courage they never knew they had. Others reveal weakness they spent years hiding. The mask slips, and the truth steps forward. Fear changes people in different ways. Some grow colder, others become reckless. A few realize too late that they are already trapped in a game they cannot win. The city itself feels alive, reacting to the tension. Streets once full of noise now feel tense and watchful. Every siren, every distant sound carries weight. People sense that something big is coming, even if they cannot name it. The balance of power is shifting, and no one is certain where it will land. The old rules no longer apply, and the new ones haven't been written yet.